many people like to study the big things. The things that are not necessarily really big, but they look big in the eyes of people. Anytime somebody tells me, oh yeah, I did Teshuvah 6 months ago, 2 months ago, a week ago, a year ago, knew about Teshuvah, I could already tell if they did Teshuvah or not, or at least their version of Teshuvah, simply by looking at them. They have a beard. Everybody does Teshuvah. For the most part, they grow a beard if it's a guy. They grow a beard. People think that if you grow a beard, you did Teshuvah. So you ask them, okay, what about Torah? You learn Torah every day? No, I go to a shiur once in a while. I go to a shiur, I listen to some stuff online. So, okay, so you keeping what? Keeping Shabat? He goes, yeah, no, on Shabat, I stay home, I have Kiddush, you go to Beit Knesset. Once in a while, what kind of Teshuvah is this? What are you doing? And you see that usually it starts with the leadership. How they started and what they did is faulty leadership. And one of the main reasons for it is because we don't really understand what real Teshuvah is. We don't understand what real Teshuvah is. You ask people, what else do you do for Hashem? He goes, no, I go to a mikveh. I go to a mikveh, the extra cold one, at least 2-3 times a week. At least 2-3 times a week. And I fast. I fast once, twice a month. So you fast, you go to mikveh, you have a beard, you look like a chassid, your payas are already reaching your ankles. Baruch Hashem. But alachot Shabbat, you don't know yet. Kosher, you're not really sure how you could possibly eat kosher vegetables only at a kosher place. I had somebody post online today. He says, doesn't it mean if there's no such thing as meat in a certain restaurant, that means that by default it's kosher, right? He says, listen, there's no meat. It's a vegan place. It's a vegan place. If it's a vegan place, there's no meat. That means, by default, it's kosher, right? It only means you haven't learned kosher laws. Because the vegetables also have to be kosher. Not that they grow them in a specific farm. This is a kosher farm, this is a tameh farm. No. It's that you have to wash the vegetables to make sure that when you're eating the lettuce, you're not eating worms with it. Because every time you eat worms, it's 6 different sins. Meaning, it's a bigger sin than eating pig. So if you don't wash your vegetables, 100% you're violating the law. Now, everybody thinks, no, but I bought the salad at Starbucks, or I bought it at this one, or some fancy restaurant. So of course they clean it. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They do not clean it the way Jews clean it. Why? Because they don't have to. They don't have to put the lettuce and make sure that all the leaves are going into water 3 different times with salt or maybe with soap. You have to wash it. You have to make sure. You have to look at it. I mean, it's like a science project just to get some salad. They don't do that. You think anybody, even in the kosher places, many places don't do it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Just assume that they're washing. No, they're not washing. What, you think you haven't eaten a few flies, a few worms, a few maggots, a few this? If you ate in any of these places, you ate a bunch of them. And each time it's 6 different sins. So when people complain, oh, why did I have a flat tire today? Why did I lose money today? Why does my wife hate me? Why does my boss want to fire me? Why? Because you're eating worms every day, that's why. Ayotzemi tameh, tameh. Something that's tameh only generates more tameh. Something that's impure creates more impurity. You're bringing impurity into your body. Whatever comes out is also tameh. So, the beard and the hat and the jacket and all that stuff means absolutely nothing. Nothing. The fast, nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Unless it's an obligatory fast, as a matter of fact, unless you are biki, meaning an expert on all of the halachot, all of the basic halachot, All of them. Halachot Shabbat, Nida, everything. Kashrut, Limud Torah. You're like in this generation, a Talmid Chacham. You're not even allowed to touch any of those things, according to the Rambam. The Rambam in Shmona Prakim says that many people look at the stories of the tzaddikim. Look, this tzaddik used to fast from Motzei Shabbat till Friday. I can't fast for a week, but I'll fast for a day. Why? No reason. I want to fast. I want to make myself holy. Make yourself holy, learn some Gemara. Make yourself holy, learn halachot. Make yourself holy, learn Parashat Shavua. Learn something. Your fasts are meaningless. No, I go to a mikveh. If you're tameh before the mikveh, you're tameh after the mikveh. The water's not going to help you if you're not learning Torah. It's not going to help you. Might as well go to a pool. At least maybe you have some fun. If you're tameh before the mikveh, it's not going to help you. If you're not learning Torah every single day, it's not going to help you. Whoever is giving you this illusion that you can go to the mikveh once a week, once a month, once a year, whatever it is, and that's going to somehow fix it, that's 100% idol worship. It has nothing to do with Judaism. It's complete stupidity. These are the words of the Rambam. The Rambam says those people that take the ma'asim of the tzaddikim, the things, the deeds, the acts of the tzaddikim, and do it themselves, are completely stupid. The Rambam says this. They're stupid people. Because they have no idea why the tzaddikim even did what they did, and yet they compare themselves to the tzaddikim by doing it. They think that the tzaddikim became tzaddikim because of the mikveh. Became tzaddikim because they fasted. They became tzaddikim because of the Torah they learned. Not because of the beard they grew. Not because of the payas and the hats. So instead of focusing on all these little things, Rabbi Elazar ben Chisma says, first and foremost, understand what's foundation and what's not. The laws of kinin, bird offerings, that's the stuff nobody wants to learn. It's a Mishnah with no Gemara. You have the Mishnah, that's the oral Torah, and the Gemara explains how the Mishnah got to where it is. Whatever it says, how do we get there? What's the sides? A versus B. How did they get to this? How did they get to that? Why? Who? When? All the different questions. Everything has a Mishnah. Kinin, no Mishnah. Bird offerings, no Mishnah. There's 1.5 million different issues, but there's no Gemara about it. There's no questions about it. It's questions in different Masechtot in the Gemara, but there's not a specific order of Gemara on Masechet Kodashim. He says, studying that's the foundation. Why? That's the difficult stuff. That's what purifies you. Not going after Sipurei Tzadikim and a couple of jokes. Okay, Sipurei Tzadikim is good. A couple of jokes is good. But a little bit. It's not the Ikar. It's not the primary. People go to Shiur Torah. Instead of Shiur Torah, it's a comedian. No, is he funny? Yeah. An hour and a half, you're going to laugh. If it's an hour and a half you're laughing, it's not a Shiur Torah. If you're laughing for an hour and a half, it's not a Shiur Torah. Gemara Masechet Shabbat, page 30. It says Rava used to start with Milah de Bdichuta. Milah de Bdichuta. He started with a joke. So everybody knows this Gemara. Everybody knows this Gemara, especially people that like to tell jokes. I used to have, maybe 2-3 years ago, I had a student. He would come to my shiur. It was mamash kaparat avonot for me. It was like I would have to suffer, and he came to my shiur. Why? Every 5 minutes he interrupts me with a joke. Every 5 minutes you interrupt with the joke. Mamash, the never-ending journal of jokes. It was kaparat avonot. The speaker, you have to focus. You're looking, you're thinking. You're siyat d'shmaya. Every 5 minutes you're interrupted with a joke, and everybody's laughing. You got everybody warmed up. You got everybody to do something. Guy gives you a joke. Kills the whole thing. By the way, Gemara Masechet Avodah Zarah says special punishment from heaven on somebody like that. You should know. You can't just joke around in the middle just for no reason. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkinos, Rabbi Akiva's rabbi, says it's very sad for the jokesters. Very sad. The beginning is suffering and their end is destruction. Shem Menachem. He says for that little joke, you like to joke in the middle of shiur Torah for no reason, interrupt the shiur Torah, you should know. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkinos says the beginning is suffering and the end is destruction. Why? You ruined the entire shiur. So now you have a Gemara in Shabbat. Says, Rava started a shiur with milah debdichuta. He started a shiur with a joke. How could it be? How could it be? He says, he started the shiur with a joke because the rest of the shiur was full of scary stuff. The rest of he got the shiur, got everybody's attention. Ha 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 ha. Great, now you're ready. I know you're all awake. Let me tell you about Gehinnom. Let me tell you about what Hashem really wants. Let me tell you about what happens when you're just a faker. Let me tell you about that. The rest of the shiur, it says in Gemara, says in the shiur, the rest of the shiur was 100% fear. Just fear. It didn't say some joke, some this. No. One joke, rest of the shiur, he scares the hell out of you. You could be frum from birth or whatever. At the end of the shiur, you did Teshuvah. So Rabbi Elazar Chisma, he says, first and foremost, you have to know that even such things that are difficult, like the bird offerings, that why would you study it? This is one of the places that teaches you the purpose of studying Torah is not to give speeches only. The purpose of studying Torah is not only to see if you can decide what's applicable to you and what's not. The purpose of studying Torah is for the sake of studying Torah. Because that's what you were made for. You came to the world to study Torah. Because Hashem says to the prophet Jeremiah, Im lo briti yomam v'layla, chukot shamayim v'aretz lo samti. If not for my covenant, meaning my Torah being studied day and night, the laws of the world will cease to exist. There's no purpose for the world to exist without somebody learning Torah. Meaning, you open a Sefer Torah, you open a Chumash, you open Gemara, you open Mishnah, you open something, Halakha book, you are responsible for the globe to continue spinning at that moment. Now, why would somebody not study Torah? Why would all of us have such a difficulty studying Torah? Because we're all stupid. Meaning, even though you may be an architect, a lawyer, a doctor, a genius, an IQ of 1,000, if you're not studying Torah day and night, you're an idiot. Why? Because you think, and I'm part of this you think that there could potentially be something more interesting than the Torah. The only reason why you don't study Torah is because you think that maybe, just maybe, there's something more valuable and interesting than Torah. So let me check the news. Let me see what the government is doing now. Let me see what Donald Trump tweeted today. Let me see what Iran is planning. Let me see what the New York Jets are doing. Let me see what the diamond industry came up with today. Let me see what the baseball team is winning or losing. You think that there's something better than Torah. And that is exactly what the Yetzer Hara wants you to think. Because the only way you can beat him is with Torah. Only way. But we, like fools, think, no, I want to go learn science. So I have to go learn it in a science book. False. You can learn science in the Torah. I want to learn medicine. So I have to go learn from medical books. False. You can learn medicine from medical book, from Torah. You ask you look at some of the major stories, even today, there's a big, I forget his name, there's a big tzaddik who many doctors from all over the world call him and ask him for advice. What to do. Surgeries. Yeah, Rabbi Fear. There's also in the past generation. They would call the sages, they would ask them, what should we do with certain medical? These people weren't doctors, but they knew the answers from the Torah. I want to learn business, so I got to go to a university. No, you can learn that from the Torah also. As a matter of fact, there's 3 masechtot, there's 3 parts of the Gemara that are all about business law. Rabbi Yisrael Misalant, anytime one of his students said, I want to, okay, I learn, Baruch Hashem. I need to go make parnasah, I need to go learn about business. He says, no problem. Finish Baba Kama, Baba Metzia, Baba Batra. 3 masechtot, who actually originally supposed to be 1 masechet. Go finish all 3 of them. After you finish them, you mamash, you know them really good, you go work. After you finish them, he doesn't want to work. Why? Because he's connected to God. He's connected to God. So, the Gemara says that there's no such thing as someone that's connected to God, truly connected to God, that ever went off the derech. Ever. In the history of mankind. No one that was truly connected to Hashem Yitbarach that ever left the derech. Now you can give me 500 examples right now of what you think is the opposite. No, but this guy used to be a rabbi. He left, he's a kofer now. This guy used to be a Talmid Chacham in a yeshiva. He's now not religious. This is this. You give me all these examples. Gemara says, no such thing. What does it mean, no such thing? They were never connected to God. Maybe they were connected to the intellectual aspect of learning Torah. They liked learning, they liked some of the laws, they liked some of the structure, they liked some of the culture, they liked the food, but connected to God, impossible. Why? Because it's a one-way street. Once you're connected to Hashem Yitbarach, it's one-way street. You don't ask yourself, do I want to do this mitzvah or not? Do I feel like it or not? Do I give this guy tzedakah or not? Do I do this? There's no such thing. Why? As soon as you're connected to a God, the God of Israel, you're finished. You're finished. There's no more me. There's no more me. Is what do you want? How can I do what he wants? And the only way to do it is by using the tool of Torah. But yet, you see many people learn Torah. Learn Torah, especially now, you see people learn Torah, but become kufrim. Become naval birshut Torah. Become amash menuvalim. Despicable people, but they think they have the permission of the Torah. These people were never connected to the Torah. They're connected to the intellectual aspect of the Torah. Because the Torah is very deep, very intellectually stimulating. But the difference between that type of Torah and the real Torah is that the real Torah is something you apply to your life. When someone is doing Teshuvah, real Teshuvah, that means that anything and everything that he reads, anything and everything that he learns, he tries to find a way to apply it to his life. He goes to a shiur Torah and he gets energized. The rabbi said if you get angry, the Torah says it's the equivalent of idol worship. He goes home nervous. Why is he nervous? Because yesterday I threw the remote across the room because my team lost. In Shamayim, it's working against me. I have to do something about it. Well, I know I'm not going to stop being angry right away. What should I do? Okay, I'll throw out the TV. Solved. No more team, no more football, no more baseball, no more shtuyot. Replace that cursed television that you're watching sports with shiur Torah. You want to have the TV? Disconnect the cable, put shiur Torah on it. But if you want to continue watching TV and think that your teshuvah is good, you're in good shape, you live in a different world. Completely different world. So first and foremost, Rabbi Elazar Chisma is telling you, even the difficult parts, like studying the laws of bird offerings. That's part of learning Torah. Of Rabbi Eliezer ben Hokanos asked him, what can we do to protect ourselves from Chavrei Mashiach? And he says, Torah and Gemilut Chasadim. Even if somebody does a nice thing or learns a lot or anything like that, it's never compared to bringing one of Hashem's lost kids that's been lost for the last 3,000 years back home. One of the beautiful things that we have in our organization is that we have both Torah and Zikui Rabim, because we have our kollels, we have our avrechim, and we also have our kiruv that we do around the world. Our lectures reach every corner of the world, Baruch Hashem, in multiple languages, but of course, we always want to do even more.
תות היו רגלינו בשערייך ירושלים, למעמד הנשגב והמרומם של סיום הש"ס, זוהר והשולחן ערוך, שעל ידי ארגון בעזרת השם העולמי.
יכול להיות שעכשיו אנחנו נשמע את השופר של המשיח.
נמצא איתנו כאן האורח מפלורידה, יושב ראש הארגון, מזכה הרבים, הרב ירון ראובן.
בעזרת השם כולנו נעשה ונצליח ונגדל בתורה ונזכה את הרבים ונעשה כבוד שמיים כמו שצריך.
אתם עמלי התורה, תמשיכו, תהיו אור גדול.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני
הזדמנות שאני מברך את הרב ירון ראובן שהוא זכה את הרבים ומחזיק תורה בעם ישראל בארץ וגם בתפוצות. אשריו ואשריך לכל, שנמשיך עוד לעשות כאלה וכאלה. זכות גדולה מאוד שהוא מחזיק תורה בעם ישראל.
טוב, ש"סים נוספו הערב לעם ישראל לכבודה של תורה, להרמת קרנה של תורה, וכל הדברים הללו ברוך השם הודות לידידנו יושב ראש הארגון שעוד לא ידע את ההפתעה שתכננתי לו.
While we have kiruv work that we've done throughout the whole year, we also have the Torah that we're constantly producing more and more of, and last but not least, the chesed to feed the poor people in Israel.
A very special thank you to all our amazing guests who show real Ahavat Yisrael by taking the time out of their busy schedule and sharing their ups and downs with us, all for the sake of Am Yisrael.
ארגון בעזרת השם הולך לחלק מאות סלי מזון בכל רחבי הארץ.
One of the big things that we have, aside from this campaign, you probably see this poster or something similar to it, is also we published some of the recent results that we have, or at least up to now, of the organization. And one of the reasons why we do this each year is because we want to make sure that our partners, our donors, our talmidim know where their money is going. Unlike everybody else that says a lot, does a lot, we want to show you what these results are. I can tell you from my experience and a little bit of knowledge about the whole Torah world, I don't know of anybody else, any other organization on planet Earth that produces dollar for dollar what we've produced over these last few years. This is nothing to be arrogant about. It's simply siyata bishmaya, Kadosh Baruch Hu helped us. We made every sacrifice that we can possibly make in order to make it happen. Producing nearly 300 films, publishing 32 books, our own books, giving out 154,000 books for free. Giving out 154,000 books is not a cheap endeavor. Anyone that wants to do such a thing has to be completely committed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to his children, and most importantly, to have bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and his Torah. We also have fed over 160,000 people over these last several years. Each year, during Pesach, the high holidays, throughout the year, we help a lot of people eat, help make sure that they have groceries, food, all types of things. And you guys have seen many of the videos that we've produced over the years to actually show you the people that are getting this food. You have here 160,000 people have eaten, nearly 300 Torah films. And then on top of all of it, we have 1.4 million USB, CDs, and cards that have been given out for free. All of the work that we've done over the last 10 years on these USBs given out for free. Last but not least, 12,000 video and audio lectures available online in about 14 different languages for the world to watch for free.
ארגון בעזרת השם לקח על עצמו את אחת המטרות הקשות ביותר בדור שלנו, לתקן עולם במלכות שדי. לא להסתפק במשהו אחד, לעזור רק לאנשים מסכנים, רק לאנשים ניצולי שואה, רק לאנשים שלא מכירים את אלוקים, רק לאנשים שאין להם כלום בבית, אלא לעזור לכלל ישראל בכל מכל כל. וברוך השם, חפץ השם בידינו הצליח. למעלה ממיליון יהודים ויהודיות נעזרו על ידי ארגון בעזרת השם. רק תדמיינו לכם איזה עוצמה היה לכל אחד ואחת מהשותפים שזכו להיות כל אחד כפי כוחו ויכולתו, לאיזה תוצאות הצליחו להגיע ולאיזה תוצאות עוד יצליחו.
פורים שמח על לראות את השלטים. נעלה עכשיו למעלה, תנועה קצת את האש, את הלימוד. ברוכים הבאים, אפשר לראות כאן כולם יושבים לומדים. איזה רעש של תורה, איזה רעש, איזה רעש. והנה יש פה עוד בית מדרש, וגם פה יש השם הכל עמוס. פורים שמח, פורים שמח.
הדמיון הזה הוא לא דמיון כל כך רחוק, כי כמו שהתורה אומרת, בפיך ובלבבך לעשותו, ככה גם בדבר הזה. כל מי שירצה, כל מי שרוצה או רוצה להיות שותפים איתנו, עם הארגון הקדוש והנפלא הזה, שכל כוונתו לשם שמיים, להגדיל תורה ולהאדירה, להרים קרן התורה, לעזור לכל אחד ואחד מעם ישראל, בכל העניינים, כל המישורים, מהילד הכי קטן שצריך מטרנה וטיטולים, עד האיש הכי מבוגר שלעולם לא הניח תפילין, ורגע לפני המוות דואגים להניח לו תפילין. אם גם אתם רוצים להיות שותפים בכאלה דברים גדולים בעשייה של תורה ועבודה וגמילות חסדים, ברוך השם, ארגון בעזרת השם כאן לצדכם, לשירותכם, יחד עם כלל ישראל.
כמעט 1.5 מיליון דיסקים, דיסקונקים שחילקנו, כל הדברים האלה בחינם, יותר מ-12,000 שיעורים. אז כל הדברים האלה, מתי שבן אדם רואה כמה ההשקעה שלו, אם זה בבתים, מניות, בכל מיני דברים, והוא רואה שהמניה עלתה 10% במקום אחד ו1,000% במקום שני, אז הוא מבין איפה להשקיע פעם הבאה. ואותו דבר פה, יש הרבה אנשים שברוך השם צופים את השיעורים שלנו, שיעורים של הרב אפרים, שיעורים של הרב שרבית ושאר הרבנים בארגון, ועכשיו זה הזמן להיות שותפים בדבר הגדול שאנחנו עושים ברוך השם.
After somebody dies, their neshama naturally feels like it needs to be clean and like it needs to go to Gehenom to go and clean itself so it could feel better after.
And one of the reasons why we do this, why we show these numbers, is because we want to show everyone what we've done to give you an indication of what we can do in the future. So this is the time where we need as much of your help as possible to push yourself more than you typically do. If you typically donate a couple $100, donate 1,000. If you could afford the 8,000, 15,000, 50,000, whatever you could afford, this is the time to do it, because this is going to be the help that we have to help all of these avrachim, to feed these people, and perhaps B'ezrat Hashem one day to get that building that we've been wanting to build here in the United States, to build a community. But all of these things require millions of dollars. If not now, then when?